This episode of Creepy is presented by the Patreon supporters. Please consider supporting this podcast at patreon.com/creepypod.
This is Creepy, a podcast dedicated to sharing the most famous, chilling, and disturbing creepypastas and urban legends in the world. Whether these stories truly happened or are simply fabrications is for you to decide. These stories may contain graphic depictions of violence and explicit language. Listener discretion is advised.
Creepy presents The Bad Days. Day 1. The Holder of the Beginning. In any city, in any country, go to any mental institution or halfway house you can get yourself to. When you reach the front desk, ask the clerk for permission to visit someone who calls herself the Holder of the Beginning. A small smile will work its way over her mouth, almost as if to say, "You fool." You'll then be taken down a long hallway, long enough that you would expect it to lead outside of the building. Yet in clear violation of the laws of space and physics, it instead leads deep into the heart of the institution. The hall will be forever silent, even if you try to make noise. Screams will die before leaving your mouth, and footsteps will be muffled. In lieu of speech, your guide will simply point to a door. Beyond it lies a cozy room filled with a pleasant yet unidentifiable perfume. At the room's center, a beautiful woman will hold her empty arms as if cradling something. This room will remain just as silent as the hallway that led to it, until you ask a singular question. Why were they separated? The woman will then explain in excruciating detail every horrific event in history. Every beating, every war, every rape, every killing, no travesty in the history of the universe will escape your ears. When she finishes, all will fall silent, and you will be free to leave. It is up to you to do what you will with this information. That woman is Object 2 of 538. It is up to you if they should be joined or not. The Holder of Depression. In any city, in any country, go to any rehabilitation compound you can get yourself to. Walk up to the front desk. If the person behind the desk has long black hair, you're in the right place. If the person has any other hair color, you've come to the wrong place. Run away without saying a word, lest you attract their attention. If you're in the right place, walk up to the front desk. In the saddest voice you can, ask to see the woman who calls herself the Holder of Depression. The person behind the desk will smirk and ignore you. Do not be impatient. Wait a few minutes and calmly ask again. If the worker pulls out a small journal, try to look at what they're writing. Inside will be a 6-digit number. Memorize this number quickly, if you value your life. After they finish writing, quickly and silently make your way to the front of the desk. The worker will stand and motion you to follow them. They will lead you around behind the desk, into a door that wasn't there before. As you enter the hallway, you'll be blasted by the sound of unintelligible heavy metal music and scenes of extreme sadness and angst. If you attempt to decipher the music, your eardrums will explode and permanently deafen you. Do not gaze upon the images decorating the hall. To do so will fill you with an inhuman sadness, causing the suicidal deaths of many unsuccessful past seekers. Should the music change to any other genre, immediately cover your ears and shout, "Depression leads to nowhere." Should the music resume, you are safe. Should it remain understandable, do not turn around. It'd be best not to see what's about to take your life, unless you'd prefer to go mad before you die. Eventually, after seemingly hours of walking, your guide will lead you to a large black door decorated with 10 macabre drawings. Your guide will exit by an unseen door, leaving you alone. The drawings will be in a line, labeled 1 through 10. Now, remove the drawings not labeled as the number the worker was writing in their notebook. Rearrange the drawings until they match the number. Any other combination and the drawings will burn, leaving you trapped in this hall of sadness until you die. If done correctly, the door will unlock. Knock twice. Any more will upset the holder more than she already is. If you hear a woman's voice asking what the hell you want, it's safe to enter. If it's a man, it'd be best just to close your eyes and accept your fate. If the woman's voice demanded what you want, reply with only one sentence. What will happen to the innocent? The door will open. Before entering, do your best to cover your left eye with your hair or spike if it's too short. Failure to do so will anger the holder. As you enter the room, you'll see a typical teenage girl's room, albeit darker than normal. If you pay attention to detail, you'll notice the decoration is not what it seems. Furniture is carved from bone and skulls. Lampshades and wallpaper formed from thin layers of human flesh. As you enter, you'll notice a small razor on the table next to you. Pick it up. Walk towards the bed and sit without making a sound. After a few minutes, a teenage girl, about 14 or 15, will emerge from the closet. She'll be dressed in a black robe, covered in spikes and chains. The girl will stare angrily at you and demand to know what you want with her. Repeat your question from earlier. What will happen to the innocent? The girl will sneer, claiming she doesn't care what happens to the world. Use the razor you picked up to slice your forearm. Allow your blood to flow onto the floor. Doing so should cause a change of scenery. You'll appear to be in the pits of a hellish place, surrounded by more teenagers dressed similarly to the holder. In unison, they will recite every betrayal, every breakup, and every sorrowful moment ever to occur in history, and every that will occur. Many seekers go mad from sadness at this point, slicing their jugulars with the razor. If you manage to get through the recital, the holder will turn to you. She will tear a chain off her robe and throw it at you, then demand you leave. Upon exiting the door, you will find yourself in your bedroom, along with the razor and chain. Check your pocket. A small piece of paper will be inside. The innocent will suffer and their blood will flow through the streets, will be scrawled onto it in permanent marker. The razor and chain, when welded together, are object 308 to 538. Should they come together, all hope is lost.
For more information, including pictures and videos of the stories told on this podcast, or to suggest stories for future episodes, please visit us at CreepyPod on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, or email us at creepypod@gmail.com. All stories told on this podcast can be found at creepypastawikia.com and are protected by a Creative Commons license. Some rights reserved unless otherwise stated.